hemos pedido una maceta de rebujito, que es una bebida tradicional que se bebe mucho en las ferias de Andalucía.
So today I am struggling so much. I mean so much. Like I am just trying to get to like my 30-minute goal, and then I have to get to my hour goal. I like break it up in increments because like I only have my goal at 30, but in my heart I know it's 1 hour. And we are still on the race to 1,000 hours in Spanish, and I've really gotten better at it this month because I joined the gym. Yes, a round of applause for me. No, I'm just kidding. It was something I really needed to do because my mental health has been on a very, and I can't even say slow decline, it's been on a very rapid decline since last year, maybe even a little bit before that. And I needed to get out the house and like get some air and just like be reminded that I can do things for myself, and going to the gym is one of them, one healthy thing I could do for myself. So yeah, that has helped me a lot because on my way to the gym I walk and I listen to a podcast, and then while I'm doing my cardio at the gym I listen to a podcast. So that has helped me a lot. Right now I am loving Viene Iba podcast by Dani. I love her. She's just like, I don't know, the podcaster I didn't know I needed in my life. And it honestly was a moment of just like, this is so cool. Like, this is insane. Because it's like, if it wasn't for knowing Spanish, I would not be listening to this woman right now. And I love that. I love how with every language you unlock, it's like a whole new world. And it's like, not even that she says anything new. Like, there's plenty of people who speak English who do these same types of topics, but it's, at the end of the day, it's her, it's Dani, it's a person that she is. And for me, it's just like the way that she says it that resonates, I guess. And so it's just like, I feel so lucky, you know what I mean, that it's like I learned Spanish and now I have this really fun podcast to listen to, and one that I really enjoy. So yeah, but right now I'm just in the middle of trying to do my dreaming Spanish, and like I almost didn't even do it today, but like I'm like, no girl, we're gonna get done because we are getting to 1,000 hours. Obviously not before January ends, but we're getting to it before February ends. So I'm gonna go ahead and get back into it.
Y una terraza muy bonita. Pero yo quería preguntarte por qué razón.
Okay, I finished my hour on dreaming Spanish, y'all. I do not know why that was just like pulling teeth for me. That was so hard. And I thought about it. I was like, you know what, do we need a break today? Like, I just talked, me, we had a conversation. I was like, do you need a break? And then I realized I don't need a break. What I need is like to sit down and focus, which is why I started to color, because I knew in my heart what my brain wanted to do was just keep picking up the phone and like doom scroll. And I was like, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing it. And like actually coloring while listening to the videos actually helped me so much, because then all of a sudden it was like, what, the video's already over? Like, it just started. So it was actually really, really good. But anyways, yeah. So now I think I'm going to read for a little bit, and then maybe I'm gonna listen to a podcast. Y'all, don't ask me why I did it. I'll tell you why I did it. Because I own it. Because I own it. The money has already been paid. I'm gonna get my money's worth. I did not like the beginner version of this book. I'm not enjoying the intermediate. But we're gonna do it. We're gonna get through it. So yeah, they're just okay stories, but I'm not even halfway through yet. Later, I'm going over to my friends and we're gonna be having arepas, so I'm very excited for that. So I just want to get Spanish done for the day because I will be booked this evening. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into reading. Okay, I promise I'm about to get started and not keep finding reasons not to read this wonderful book. But I keep seeing a lot of people say that they read out loud. And like, if you read out loud, can you tell me why? Like, what do you think is a benefit? Because I don't like to read out loud. Maybe I'll try it because when I do a read along. Okay guys, so we're gonna do a little like read along, like a little like read aloud together. Read aloud. We're gonna do a little read aloud together. I'm gonna see how we feel about it. Okay, so this is what we're reading. We're on página 31. OMG, I'm nervous. I already can't do this. Like, I'm like, my tongue is already like, we are not speaking Spanish today, but we're gonna try. Okay. Persevera y triunfarás. Capítulo 1. Esperando en la puerta del club. ¿Por qué no podemos entrar? Le pregunté al hombre corpulento parado frente a nosotros. Vestía un traje oscuro y era alto y fuerte. Bloqueaba la entrada del club nocturno Sara. Se podía escuchar la música de baile tras la puerta. Queríamos entrar. Me habían despedido al día anterior. Necesitaba una noche de diversión. Quería relajarme y por eso tenía que encontrar una forma de entrar en el club. Okay, we're doing okay. Do I understand what's happening? Kind of. No, it's not the words. It's my brain. I understand what's happening. They're trying to get into the club. Oh my god, comprehension. We're doing this. El portero era como un gorila. Su trabajo era dejar entrar a la gente adecuada y dejar a todos los demás fuera. Señaló su carpeta y frunció el ceño. Tu nombre no está en esta lista. Lo miré. Era al menos 15 centímetros más alto que yo. ¿Y cómo entramos en esa lista? Estaba con mis amigos, Nacho y Aarón. Nos habíamos puesto guapos. Habíamos atravesado la ciudad un coche para venir a Sara. Atravesado la ciudad en coche para venir a Sara. Era un club nuevo y famoso y queríamos conocerlo. Pero el gorila no nos respondió. En vez de responderme, miró por encima de mi hombro flacucho. La cola de gente detrás de mí era larga. Okay, so already I get it. I think I answered my own question. I think this is definitely good for my tongue, for my mouth to get like used to the way Spanish feels inside of it without having to think simultaneously, because I think that's something that gets really, really difficult for me, is that like I just sometimes like my brain is like, okay, like we need our mouth to be doing this and we need to be saying this, and it's like it's kind of a lot. And that's what I've noticed with my almost 6 hours of speaking at this point. Okay, but so maybe I'll just keep reading this out loud. I'm not gonna record because obviously like you don't need to sit here and listen to the whole thing, but so far so good. I'm really excited about where this story will go. Like, I don't know, like, I'm just so excited. But yeah, I don't know. I wanted to tell you guys something, but I don't remember what it is. Okay, I only read one extra page so far, but I do remember what I wanted to tell y'all. It's about the R. R. Oh my god, it's hard thing in the world for me. But I kind of noticed I could do this. I'm trying to find like a little word to give you guys an example. Respondió. Respondió. I think I can kind of make the sound a little bit when it's at the beginning of words, and I think like in the middle too. Like I think I'm okay. Like extrañado. Like it's not hard. The thing is though, is like I can't just be like look, I can't just roll them the way like you should be able to do so. And that's something I really want to work on, but also I get really frustrated and I give up. So that's why I haven't worked on it properly, even though I've wanted to learn Spanish for a while and like I knew this would be a battle. I've just like given up. And the thing is though, I just want to thank Korean, gracias a coreano, porque if it wasn't for Korean, I don't think I'd be able to make that sound because I learned how to do that sound when I was much, much younger. Like probably like when I was 11 or 12 because of this situation that's happening in Korean, which is kind of like a cross between like an R and an L. Like you kind of have to do like a different sound with your tongue. And so that's how I learned how to do it back then. And I think that definitely contributes to why I'm able to do somewhat of the sound now. But yeah, I've never, and like it kind of makes me embarrassed because I'm from Florida. And I feel like a lot of people in Florida know how to make that sound, whether they're Spanish speakers or not. So I'm like, I don't know why I can't do it. Like, I'm from Florida. I'm supposed to have it. It's supposed to be my, like, just a innate skill, but it's not for me. Anyways, I'm gonna keep on reading. Okay, guys, hello. I'm so bad at timing because literally after I was done reading just that one chapter, I was talking about some, I'm gonna read for 30 minutes. No, baby girl. I had to get ready. I have some arepas that I have to go eat. And so, yeah, I'm very excited for that. And this is a learning, because I didn't really study, that I did for today. And I'll see you probably tomorrow because we are not doing anything else for today. But I'm going to be in a get-together of only Spanish speakers, native Spanish speakers. So we're going to be getting in our input, maybe a little bit of speaking. I don't know. I usually feel bad speaking in a group of natives because I don't want to hold up the conversation. So I usually just sit back, relax, and like observe and get on my hours. But we will see because I'm speaking now. So we'll see how it goes.
Es que no lo dices en...
Me sorprende.
Te falta como una muleta.
Tienen los pueblos originarios y dónde vivían principalmente. Podemos reconocer pueblos del norte como aymarás, atacameños y dieguitas.
Okay, guys, hi. It is a few days later. It is nighttime. I'm in my cinema roll pajamas. And yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to do like a little late night chat, I guess, because I just like have like the feeling to do it now. There's a lot of things I want to talk about in regards to language learning these days. So yeah, get your tea, let's get comfortable, get cozy. There's some things I just want to talk about. Okay, so I don't know, like now that I am embarking on beginning again in Korean soon, sometime this month, I don't know when, but I was thinking, okay, like I'll start reintroducing it in February. And I don't know, I just have been like really thinking about like how I would want to approach Korean, because whenever I started Korean last year, I mean, I started with my sister and like we both just kind of came to the conclusion it didn't feel like the right time for us to be learning it. And my reason was more so because there just wasn't enough comprehensible input and I was new to comprehensible input. Oh, actually, you guys, I am a year into Dreaming Spanish. Literally February 1st, I started Dreaming Spanish. So it has been a year and I'm almost at 1,000 hours. I'm like 30 hours away. But anyways, so I've just been thinking a lot about my approach with languages, because now that I'm going to be bringing Korean back into my life, I'm like, okay, how do I want to do this? Because I don't think I want to do 100% comprehensible input approach, but I'm not sure exactly what I want to do either. So I'm very confused right now. It's not so much that I want to do traditional, but like I don't really want to do like a refold like Anki flashcard thing. I'm not a flashcard girl at all. So I'm just like, I don't really know what I want to do, but I definitely want it to be input heavy, but just not like, I really did want to try learning a language through 100% comprehensible input, and I might still do that with like a language that's more related to Spanish, like Portuguese, for example. But with Korean, I just don't really have the patience, I think, especially because it is going to be something that I'm not going to be able to dedicate a lot of time to. I don't think I have it in me to be like, I'm 5 years into Korean and I'm like at 50 hours. You know what I mean? Like, that's just not motivating for me. But that being said, I've been thinking a lot about language learning and just like my own experiences and just like so much of what I've learned since joining the comprehensible input community. And for me, sometimes, like, I don't know. So the other night when I just turned on the television and ended up on this channel, Aprendo Libre. It was like, oh my god, my brain just went into Spanish mode. Okay, it was just like, it's just like free lessons essentially for kids of school age. And I ended up on Segundo Básico, and basically that's a little bit too high for me speaking wise. Like I would not fit in with like the segundo básico kids, like whenever it comes to like their actual skill set. But whenever it comes to like my understanding, it was fine. So I actually got to learn a lot, and it was really freaking cool. It was really, really cool. But something, it was a moment where it really started to spark my memory of elementary. And like for a second it was like, wow, wait a minute, I actually did learn from school. Like I actually did. And I say it like that because I feel like sometimes within the comprehensible input community, where there's like so much angst and like so much like against learning and like, oh, it's gonna harm your accent, it's gonna do this, it's gonna do that if like you read too early, or like if you speak whatever. And it was just a moment of like, it was like all of these memories of elementary school was like flooding in my brain. Because at one point, like I'm saying we, like I was in the classroom. The teacher, like she went over the word ubicad, and she went over like 7 different synonyms for ubicad. And it was like a moment of like, y'all, we do learn in school, and it is grammar based and it is vocabulary based, and it's not harmful. And I think because people forget so much of their elementary school days, it's like we just pretend almost. And this is very generalized, please, y'all. It's very generalized, okay? But it's like this idea of like, oh no, grammar, we don't need that as native speakers. Like I never sat down and learned grammar, but you did. But you low-key did, and all because you don't remember it now does not mean like it didn't get into like your subconscious and like make an impact on you. Because it's like, even me, like I'm in education, so I don't know why I didn't think about it that deep before. But I'm not in like, okay, I technically do have a certification in language instruction, but that's not what I went to school for specifically. I did go to school for education, but not for that specifically. That being said, it's like in my days when I was living in the United States and I had my own classroom, I was teaching 3rd graders, and it was like literally we went over parts of speech. We went over past tense, and we went over irregular verbs in the past tense. And it's like, we did learn things in school, y'all. Like we did, like as native speakers, we still did the things. And so it was just a moment for me to kind of like reflect on my own, to like have a like heart to heart with me and just be like, what is it that I think is the best way to learn a language? Because I really, after moving to Chile, like I really jumped into comprehensible input because of all the videos I was seeing saying that this is the best way, this is the best way. And it's definitely not the most time efficient way, I'll say that. But that was something that I allowed myself to do for myself. Despite living here, I don't know why. I think it's just because for me, Spanish is something that I genuinely want to have in my life forever. And it's like I want to be as good in Spanish as I am in English. Like that's how I feel like a lot of these other languages. I'm like, I want to get as good as I can. But with Spanish, I want it to be like second nature for me. So I'm like, I'm okay taking my time on it a little bit more. But yeah, it was just, it's like ramble, as I'm rambling right now. Like so much. And something else I really started thinking about was just like another heart to heart with me. It's just like my own feelings surrounding accent, because obviously, oh my god, I was so psyched out of speaking early because of, oh, like you're not gonna have a good accent, or if you really care about your accent, you won't speak until like 1,000 hours, yada yada yada. And it's just like, at what point do I like get real with myself and just accept the fact that I'm not a native speaker of Spanish? I'm not. I don't have Spanish speaking family members. Like it's just, it's not my blood, I guess I should say. Maybe it's in my heart, but it's not in my blood. And that being said, I'm never gonna be native, never. And I don't want to, and I feel like sometimes there is a pressure, because it's like, okay, I get it. Like there's so many people who are like, oh, I'm focusing on Mexican accent, I'm focusing on Cuban accent, whatever, Spanish. And it's like, I really wanted to do that. And whenever I first got into learning Spanish again, I was like, fine, I'll do Mexican Spanish, because living in the United States, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, we have Telemundo, we have all of these things that really make Mexico very close to us as a society. I feel like, at least for me, I feel like Mexican Spanish feels a little bit like home because of just how prevalent the culture is in the United States. But that being said, obviously I did not stay that way because I moved to Chile and it's a lot more relevant for my life. But that being said, there's many accents that I really, really love. I think they all kind of have something in common, Like, I love Chilean accent. I love Caribbean accents. I love the accent in Andalusia in Spain. And so it's like they all kind of have something in common in my opinion. Like, they kind of like do like the dropped S, aspirated S. Very, very slangy, like the hard accents. I just love them. And it's like, I guess what I'm trying to say is like, the more that I embark on this journey, the more I hope that, of course, I don't want like a gringa accent, like the slightest, like that is a big fear of mine, clearly. But it's like, I want to find that, I don't know, I want to find my own accent in relation to my journey of learning Spanish, in relation, in like, how do I say, like in my own relation to Latin culture, and not trying to be something I'm not, because at the end of the day, I'm not from a Latin country, I'm not from Latin culture. And so I don't need to pretend to be, I don't need to have that as my desire, because it's not real. It's not me. It's not true to who I am. But what is true to who I am is like what's in my heart. Like, I appreciate Latin culture so much, and I love it. I just love it so much. And I love learning about the different cultures within the Spanish speaking world. And I don't know. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that I hope that at some point my accent is going to reflect my journey, I guess, if that makes sense. And that being said, like, it's not that I want like this mixed accent, because I really, really, really don't. And I also don't want to generalize accent. Like, I don't want to sound like I watch a whole bunch of like dubbed movies in Spanish, if that makes sense. Like, so I know I sound probably crazy, but I just hope that I find at some point like things just start clicking, and like I just have an accent that's my own. It kind of reminds me of a podcast I've been listening to, Viene Iva by Donna Eva, because it's like, she is Venezuelan. She grew up in Venezuela, but like her family is like from so many different Spanish speaking countries, and she grew up in Ecuador, and like she's been so many different places, and it's like that's reflected in her accent as well. And I kind of want that to me, I guess, where it's kind of like you can tell where I've been, but it's not like I've, not just like, oh, I've traveled to these 10 countries, but like genuinely where I've been, and like who's made an impact on me, if that makes sense, in my journey. Hopefully that makes sense. I don't know if it does. But so far, I mean, I've always gotten really good compliments on my accent. With several tutors that I've worked with in the past, they do tell me like they're very surprised whenever they find I'm from the United States. So for me, that's a blessing, because I'm like, I'm sorry. God bless the United States. I do not want to sound like I'm from there, y'all. I'm sorry, I don't. And I've definitely got some nice comments about my accent, like it's very nice, that type of stuff. But I'm not even 1,000 hours in yet, and oh my god, my speaking these days, like I've stopped at like 6 hours, y'all, like. But I know time is gonna get better. I think I struggle a lot with rhythm. I feel like my pronunciation's okay, but I really, really struggle with like catching a rhythm, and I think that will just be something that naturally happens with time. But anyways, yeah, these are just my feelings right now. And yes, thank you so much for watching, really. My little ramble just about all of this right now. I really, really appreciate it. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next vlog. Bye.